What's up, friends and family? It's your girl T, and I got to see Mascots, which is the upcoming Chrisopher Guest Netflix movie that's getting released onto Netflix on October 13th. If you're a fan of Chrisopher Guest, I think you're really going to like this movie because I'm a fan of Chrisopher Guest and I really enjoyed it. You see a lot of familiar faces from Chrisopher Guest's past movies that we all know and love. You know, you got Parker Posey, Don Lake, just Jennifer Coolidge, the list goes on and on. All the faces, or at least most of the faces that we know and love from his older projects like Best in Show and Waiting for Guffman. But as his career has gone on, he tends to add to his company. So each movie in the sort of later stages of his career has more and more characters. And that's definitely the case here. This time around, he's also added Zach Woods to the cast, who we all know from Silicon Valley, Chris O'Dowd, who was of course in Bridesmaids and the IT Crowd over in the UK, and Tom Bennett, who's another English actor. So those are just a few of the new faces that we see in Mascots, and they're very welcome additions. I would say it does get a little bit tough to keep track of quite so many characters as we go on through the movie, but it's still a fun ride. Because this movie deals with mascots, which is sort of like a peculiar subject matter, it's definitely an opportunity to have a lot of very like idiosyncratic, quirky people, and that's what we get here. It's exactly what you would expect from Chrisopher Guest doing a movie or a mockumentary on mascots. The cool thing here, though, is that when we actually see the mascots doing their thing, because there's this whole like mascot competition, it's sort of like Pitch Perfect in a way, where a cappella is sort of something that's goofed on, but when you see people do it well in the movie, you're like, oh, actually, I have a lot of respect for that. The same thing happens here in Mascots, where when you see the mascots actually doing their routines and doing their stunts and performances, it's kind of awesome. So I really like that even though these are sort of quirky and sometimes dysfunctional people, they're legitimately talented at what they do and they're treated with respect. So it's not really goofing on people who do mascotting, it's just goofing on the personalities of these people who do mascotting. There are times where the comedy goes a little bit broader than what I'm used to from Chrisopher Guest and his brand of comedy, but I still think that it's, off the beaten path enough to still fall under his normal sense of humor. And as you might have expected or predicted, there is like some jokes in there about furries, so that's also another like fun thing to look for if you end up checking it out on Netflix. All in all, I don't really have a ton to say about this because I liked it. I wouldn't say it's quite on the level of some of his older projects. I personally love Best in Show and Waiting for Guffman the most. Those are my favorites. I would say it's more along the lines of some of his later stuff like A Mighty Wind. Definitely like consistent with his brand, but not at his peak. So I'd say check it out if you were curious, and if you've never seen Chrisopher Guest before, don't start with this one, start with one of his older ones and then come around to this, but either way you're gonna laugh. That's it for this one. Let me know if you guys are planning to check out Mascots once it's on Netflix on October 13th. And make sure you subscribe to CineFix because we've got videos going up all the time, as well as Facebook Live. So follow us on our social media as well. I do feel slightly badly stabbing Ed Begley Jr. in the heart.